So let's say that somebody's been giving you a hard time, and so you've created and created and created recently really strong components. You've added them to your vortex. And now you've meditated. You know, when you meditate, you release thoughts, so you're in the vortex. Or you got on a rampage of appreciation, you're in the vortex. You stop doing those things that you do that kept you out of the vortex, and when you stop doing those things you do that kept you out of the vortex brings you in. And when you're in there, oh, it is so sweet. Your body feels good, your mind is clear, it's evident to others around you, you're thriving. But then, even inside the vortex, the phone rings. You know who it is. Or something happens. And as you give your attention to this subject that is of a different vibrational frequency than the vortex spits you out. Because only cooperative components can abide. So you get the idea that we want you to release your resistance so that the vortex can take you in. But what happens if the vortex spits you out? Is it a problem? No. Because you came forth into this physical experience understanding that the creative process is 3 steps. Step 1, ask. And you need contrast to do that. If you don't have a variety to choose from, you have no way of asking. So step 1 is important. And step 1 happens in the majority of cases when you are outside of the vortex. You know what you don't want, you ask for what you do want. Step 2 is not your job. That's the job of source. That's the job of your inner being. That's the job of law of attraction. That's the job of the vortex. Step 2 is when you ask, it is given every single time. And it's not just given. The vortex and the source within you becomes the equivalent of all that you've been asking for. So step 2 is not your work. And step 1, you don't have to work at, because the contrast just causes you to ask. Step 3 is your work. And what is step 3? Step 3 is to be conscious and aware of the way you feel, reaching for the best feeling thought you can find from wherever you are, so that you will allow the vortex to take you in. Allow your entry into the vortex. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be eagerly aware of this vortex of creation. But we would not freak out when we're having a step 1 moment. When you're having a step 1 moment, understand your relationship to the vortex. Say to yourself, I'm ornery as I can be as I'm having this step 1 moment, but the good news is I'm putting things in the vortex. In other words, at least be aware that that's what you're doing. And then say, and I know the happy old vortex is over there just spinning around, gathering all the cooperative components, but for now I intend to just complain. Because in my complaining, I'm adding more to the vortex. That's my justification. And we say, yes, you are. And we do want you to be easy when you're not in the vortex, but we want you to be in the vortex. And you don't need to worry. There is enough contrast that surrounds you that you'll have plenty of step 1 opportunities. Let your dominant intent be to be in the vicinity of the vortex. Let this loving, God-force vortex bring you in. Let yourself be all that you have become. That's what will happen when you have your, what you call your death experience. We call it croaking. We try to be as disrespectful as we can of death, since there isn't any. You're always alive, sometimes physically focused. And as you came into this physical experience, it was your intention to let the contrast inspire the expansion. But do you know what the most exhilarating thing that you were looking forward to in this expression of physical life? Do you know what you were really wanting? Do you know the reason that you keep coming forth into the physical experience? Because there is nothing more delicious than to have expanded and held yourself apart from it for a little bit, and then release the resistance and let yourself go. That's the river of life that you want to live. You want to continually be in this place where you're reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing and reaching and allowing. And you don't need to worry about it. It will ever be thus. We just think that when you know who you are, and you know about the vortex, and you know about the laws of the universe, and you know about your emotional guidance system, and you know you can direct your own thoughts, and you can practice by feeling the thought that doesn't feel good, and then feeling the thought that feels better, and then feeling the thought that feels better still. When you become aware of the laws of the universe and your place in it, it's like having your hands in the most creative of clay. And then life is so good, just like you knew it would be. We call this gathering the art of allowing. It's the art of allowing, consciously, deliberately allowing you here in your physical body to get up to speed with who, not just who you were before you were born, which was very much up to speed, we want to tell you, but with who you have become since you have been here, projecting improvements and expansion and evolution into that which you are. If you are little and someone's rude to you, you ask for a nicer world, and you create you in a nicer world. But if you keep noticing rude people, then you keep holding yourself in resistance to the nicer world that you carved out when you were very young. If someone really mistreated you when you were little, and you've been beating that drum ever since, when people introduce themselves to you, you say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I was abused when I was 12. So even though it happened a long time ago and caused you to launch rockets of desire and become a much more well-treated person, if you keep beating the drum of that abuse day after day, year after year, decade after decade, what happens is you for years hold yourself as a vibrational resistant component to this vortex of creation that you've been creating. Every time you don't have enough money, you ask for more. You have created a veritable fortune in your vortex of creation. And the reason that we're calling it a vortex is because the law of attraction is responding to the central theme of it. And what's the central theme in your vortex? The expanded version of you, the healthier you, the more prosperous you, the more loving you, the worthy feeling you. In other words, life has caused you to become this. But often, you're so enamored with your physicality. Abraham, I can see and I can smell, I can taste, I can feel, I can touch. I'm tactile. Look around me. Here is my world. And we say, you're only looking at a small part of your world. You're looking at the so far manifested world. You're looking at the world you have allowed to become based upon the vibration that you chronically hold to, based upon your beliefs. But your physical manifested world could match this vortex of creation that you've been adding to all day, every day. You could be standing in this physical body and you could be a worthy feeling being. You could feel secure. You could be flexible. You could be mobile. You could be incredibly prosperous. You can be the creator of your own reality. You just have to understand the two vibrational realities that are going on, and you've got to make them match. So this vortex of creation, we're really enjoying this analogy because it helps us to help you to understand that you've become more than you're often letting yourself be. And in order to be all that you are, you got to get in the vortex. But in order to get in that vortex, you've got to be a vibrational match to that vortex, because law of attraction is assembling all cooperative components. So you've put plenty of requests for abundance there, and vitality and clarity and well-being. And law of attraction is gathering all of the cooperative components to that. But if you're over here beating the drum of, I don't have enough right now, and I'm worried about where I'm going to get it, and it has not been good for me for a long time, and the people around me are having a hard time too, then without even meaning to, you're holding yourself by virtue of your observation of what is or what has already manifested for you. You're holding yourself in observation of your physical world in vibrational resistance or opposition to your non-physical vortex of creation. Esther loves it when she comes back to a city like this or back to her hometown and sees that landmarks are still there. In other words, it's nice to feel the stability of your physical reality. But you get so caught up in the stability of your physical reality that you don't let yourself expand proportionate or in the timing of your true expansion. When you ask for something, it's given now. Why don't you go where it's given? And then when we ask the question, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? Are you enjoying your new desires? You would say, yes, I am. I'm enjoying my new desires because I get one and I receive it, and then I get another idea and I receive it, and I get another idea and I receive it. Life's good out here on this leading edge of creation. So if there are things that you have been wanting that are not showing up, are taking way too long, or not seeming to show up at all, it's for only one reason. You've got a habit of thought. That's what beliefs are. A chronic thought that you keep thinking, usually based upon something you're observing. In other words, where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it. It's not here. Where is it? I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not here. 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 I don't see it. Do you see it? 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 I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it. 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 I've wanted it a long time, but I don't see it. I've wanted it for so long, I'm sick of wanting it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. It's not here. I've never seen it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It takes too long. It's too hard. I don't see it. Do you see it? I don't see it. And in your observation of what's currently happening, you train yourself into the vibration that opposes it. So, you know what that makes you? That makes you an uncooperative component to what's going on over here. You don't mean to be. You've just been practicing it for so long that it just feels normal to complain. It feels normal to tell it like it is. Let's make a monument. A bad thing happened. Let's make a monument. Let's make a monument about how bad it was. Let's make a holiday for the monument. Let's make a law so that everybody has to know on this day that this monument represents that bad thing that happened. And as you hold yourself to things of the past or the present that are not a vibrational match to who you have become, not only do you not get to live anytime soon what you're asking for, but even more, you feel the discord of you not keeping up with you. Now, sometimes you think, well, I don't think I should have to do all of this work. I think I should be able to stay over here and just complain to the universe or to source or to my inner being, complain to God like I used to complain to my mother. It worked with her. If I complained long enough, she'd give up the stuff. But when you are talking with law of attraction, you cannot be a cooperative component to what you want while you complain, or while you justify, or while you defend, or while you continue to beat the drum of why you need it or why you deserve it. In other words, you can't keep amplifying the absence of what you want or the neediness or the lack of what you want and be a vibrational match. You have to talk about what you want and why you want it. You have to find some way of getting into the vortex. And that's really what we'll be talking about today. How to get into this vortex of creation. Do you understand that in that vortex is not just where what you want is, it's where who you are is. In other words, your inner being is a lover. And when you find someone to hate, even though by your earth standards you are justified, others agree with you, yeah, we all hate that person. That's a true hateable person. And we say, source within you does not hate. And that's why hate feels to you like it does. It's the feeling of not resonance with the wholeness of who you are. It's the disallowing the fullness of who you are. So occasionally Esther says, as she stands outside her vortex, while we are standing over there inside her vortex, Esther will say, Abraham, I really think you should come over here with me because I know I'm right. This is true. This is a true thing that I'm focused upon. And we say, we never come over there where you are outside the vortex of well-being. You have to come in where we are. We never stop being what you have become. And we never stop offering a signal of it. And we never stop, by law of attraction, summoning all cooperative components. And you, because you are the creator of the seed of this, you are called in the most powerful way eternally. But if you harbor thoughts that don't let you come, then you can't come, because you are a vibrational being, as are we. You are vibrational first and foremost. And all this other stuff, all of this physical trapping, is just the wonderful extension of creation. So we want to